Hey guys, good morning, and give me 1 second. I'm just going to get Instagram live going as well. If anybody's here on, hi. I see that some people are online already on YouTube. Welcome, good morning, how's it going? And let's get love on the gram. How are we doing? How are we doing? Oh, cool. So, good morning, guys. Welcome, everybody. I've got a kind of crazy setup going on right here. So, my laptop is using for YouTube Live, and my phone is going ahead for the Instagram Live. So, I don't know where to look. So, yeah, sorry if you feel like I'm gazing behind you or to one side or whatever. I'm paying attention. And anyway, good morning and welcome. So, I just wanted to introduce myself. I know a few of you guys will know me already from classes and private clients, things like that from around the city. But for those of you who I haven't yet had the opportunity to meet, I would just want to say welcome and thank you for joining me. So, it's a little bit of a crazy time right now, I know. There's a lot of uncertainty, and I know a lot of us are getting really anxious. So I kind of wanted to do this live stream. So at least we can be reaching out, connecting, and just find a space where we feel like, okay, someone's here to listen, to support us, and to maybe offer us some guidance. For those of you who I haven't met before we get too far into this, my name is Tally. Welcome. And yeah, I have a yoga studio open, well, was open in Edinburgh. I had to make the decision to close the doors until this all blows over. I mostly work in a kind of one-to-one environment. I do a lot of coaching. I do a lot of private yoga classes. It's kind of where I'm at. That's what I love. So even if I can't kind of get to my clients or get to my studio right now, I wanted to take the time just to kind of touch base with not only my clients and my students, but everybody who's struggling right now. And I know there's a lot of us who are kind of isolated at the moment, myself included. I've had to choose to self-isolate this week. And yeah, I get it. It gets pretty lonely and pretty crazy. I mean, my boyfriend's upstairs, he's getting to work remotely. But it's very easy to get this sense of isolation. And I think more than anything, though, this crisis, what's going on right now, is really an opportunity for us all to connect. Because how constantly do we, maybe ourselves included, I know sometimes I'm guilty of this, we're just walking down the street or we see other people walking down the street are glued to their phones. We're on the bus or on the train or even in the car, people are glued to their phones. And while, yeah, maybe we are going to stay glued to our phones in this current situation because we can't actually connect with people as much in person. But I think this is going to give us a lot more opportunity to meaningfully connect with people, to connect with our loved ones, to spend more time on the phone, to spend more time actually not just scrolling, but actually creating content, creating stories, creating connections with people, and maybe even meeting some new people in the process. So yeah, although it's a little bit of an unprecedented time, I think a lot of good will actually come out of this. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of what's going on for a lot of us in our minds. Like, I know that, again, for a lot of us, if we're feeling isolated or if we're just feeling pretty anxious about what's going on at the moment anyway, then this can really give us a lot of kind of repetitive thoughts. We end up just a bit stuck in our heads. I may even notice some physical symptoms of anxiety going on as well. Even me, myself, I've noticed I've got tightness around my chest that I never normally get. And I know that I'm not alone in this. So I'm going to share with you guys some of my tips and tricks to kind of find a sense of calm, find a sense of resilience, and just give everybody a few tips of what to do if we are feeling really overwhelmed, anxious, panicky, everything like that. So just going to pause right there, see if you people are commenting and things like that. So I'm just going to check both of my devices and see what's going on. Hi, no worries at all. SMC 1999 on YouTube. It's absolutely my pleasure. Anything I can do to help you guys, I'm here to support. And what we got going on the gram. Hi, guys. It's great to see you all. How is everyone doing? I see some familiar faces. So, yeah, let me know if there's anything particular I can help you guys with today, this morning. If anyone's got any questions about kind of mind health, about kind of any self-care practices. And obviously, this is not just a one-way street. If anybody's got any suggestions to anybody, leave them in the comments. If anything's resonating with you, again, comment away. Like, I just want to hear from everybody. So, that was maybe quite a lot of chat. And let's all just take a moment. Wherever you are, if you are working from home, if you're working from an office, if you're stuck at home or anywhere else, just want us all to find a space where you can just press pause. Maybe not on this video. So if you are able to in your environment, you can go ahead and close down your eyes. It's where you just sort of notice how you feel. Maybe starting off just noticing the thoughts going on through your mind, not trying to judge them, not trying to be critical or feeling like you should or shouldn't be thinking certain things. I just want you to observe what's going on for you in your mind. Notice if there are any thought patterns that perhaps keep recurring, same thoughts just keep coming up. And just know that that is okay right now. See if you can relax through the face. Soften through the jaw, relax your eyes, eyelids heavy if possible. Notice how it feels to just smooth away any tension from your forehead. See if you can drop your attention further down. Notice your shoulders. Are they up by your ears? Can you try and find some relief? Notice your breathing. Maybe if we're feeling quite stressed or anxious or anything, you may notice that your breath is quite shallow and quite limited to your upper body, so more through the chest. Again, we're noticing that all of this with no criticism, no judgment, no shoulds or shouldn't. Observe how you feel. And observe how you breathe. And draw your attention further down still. Maybe doing a little body scan from head to foot. Noticing where you're holding on to tension. See if there are any spaces that you can, even if they're small as a grain of sand, that feel really relaxed and at ease and peaceful. So whatever surface you're sitting or lying on, notice the contact points that your body makes with this surface. Whether it's your feet, if you're standing, your sit bones, if you're sitting, maybe it's the whole of your back body if you're lying down. I definitely know that when we feel anxious or at times of stress like these, we lose the connection to the present moment. See if you can rediscover that right now. Tune into what you can hear without straining or trying to listen out. Just see what kind of filters into your field of sound. Can you feel your body as you breathe, the rise and fall of your chest and your stomach? Can you feel the clothes on your skin? Again, just noticing what you can hear, what you can feel. Maybe also what you can touch and taste and smell. Even with our eyes closed, if we are able, we can still use our imagination, our intuition to visualize the space around us. So notice without opening your eyes if you can, without changing the gaze if you do have your eyes open, just visualize the ceiling or the sky above you, the floor of the earth beneath you, the space to the left, and the space to the right, what's going on in front of you, also the space behind you. Noticing all of this. Maybe noticing if even just for a millisecond, whether you can create some space between you and your thoughts and your mind just by being present. Again, even if that is just for a millisecond, the more we practice, the easier it gets. I'm going to spend a moment, all of us, and just connect into our intuition. Again, if you're in a public place, then maybe you may want to find a more private place to do this, otherwise you might look a bit interesting. But, or if not, then just tune into what I'm saying rather than actually doing the action. But if possible, I invite us all to place one hand on our forehead, just across our forehead, and the other hand on our heart space, the left side of our chest. So when we do this, the hand on our heart is helping us connect to our body. And the hand on our forehead is helping us connect to our inner wisdom, our intuition, our inner guidance. And so we need to breathe here, just noticing the sensation of both hands on your forehead and on your heart. Feel the beating of your heart. And the rise and fall of your chest with your breath. And as we pause right here, just check in and ask your intuition. Ask yourself, beyond your thoughts, beyond your feelings, beyond what's going on right now, ask your intuition, what do I need right now? How do I want to feel right now? And then as you tap in a little bit deeper, ask yourself, what can I do to help myself get there, to that feeling? Again, just pausing here, breathing. And when you feel ready, place both hands on your heart. So the hand on your forehead can just be placed just above, on top of the hand that was already in your chest. Again, just checking in, beat of your heart, contact points your body makes with the surface you are sitting, lying, or standing on. And with this, perhaps maybe increased awareness of how you'd like to feel, what you need to do. Maybe finding a little bit more of a sense of ease, even if it is just for a moment. And when you feel ready, you can release your hands back down to your lap or onto your knees or whatever feels good for you. And take a few moments to just gently, slowly open the eyes, let the light back in. So I know for me that practice is really helpful to help us get back to ourselves, to get grounded. How are you guys all doing? I'm just going to check in with the comments, see how everybody is. Cool. Great. So, that again is something that I often do in times of overwhelm or stress, or if I just feel a little bit off centered, I'll often do that just to kind of tap in. Thank you so much, Shahid. I'm glad that was helpful for you. Ultimately, right now, there's a lot that is kind of out of our control. There's a lot that we can't really do much about in the external world. But we also have an opportunity to really tap into what's going on in our inner world. So, our thoughts, our mind, our feelings, our emotions, what beliefs we're holding on to that perhaps don't even serve us. We've all been given this opportunity now to spend some time tuning into that. And this can absolutely be something that's pretty alien to a lot of us, especially if we spend a lot of our time being busy, doing all the things, not really pausing or ever stopping or slowing down. This is the time to slow down. And maybe even this is the time when we need these practices. We need to keep our mind health stronger and more supported than ever. So, I want to talk a little bit about self-care. Because in times like this, our self-care can often just go out the window. So I want us all just to think about the practices that we need. Man, I feel you, Shahid. Yeah, that's tough, self-isolating too, boredom, yes. And definitely agree that when we are self-isolating, then cabin fever and boredom and frustration about being stuck somewhere, it's hard. I'm absolutely not disputing that. But this, I think, is not necessarily a punishment. I mean, don't get me wrong, the situation is not ideal. The overarching circumstances are not ideal. But if we're constantly busy, if we're constantly going, if we're constantly doing all the things, then maybe right now this is our perfect time to learn how to slow, how to do slow, how to be slow. So self-care right now, I just want to focus even on the basics. Are you managing to drink enough water? Are you staying hydrated? And how is your rest? How are you sleeping? I know that, yeah, sometimes, again, I keep saying this, but at times like these, at times of stress, yeah, sometimes sleep is hard to come by when our mind won't shut off. I'm going to help you switch your mind off when we need to. But I also think it's important to cultivate this sense of intentional and productive rest. Rest does not have to mean sleep. Rest can also just mean lying down on the sofa with our eyes closed. It can be breathing, can be listening to relaxing music, can be reading a good book. These practices will fill us up. They will give us a little bit more energy and help us feel supported. So even if sleep isn't a easy thing to come by right now, we can still rest and we can still take care of ourselves in other ways that will help to restore and balance our energy levels. Yeah, great. Just gonna again just check in with everybody, see how everyone's doing. Hi Sabrina. It's great to meet you. meet you. And yeah, welcome. Great to have everybody on board. And how's everything looking on Instagram? Yeah. So can we do it during sleep to help sleep? Miri Captures asks. As in, can we what do you mean by that exactly? Can we do what during sleep? We can absolutely help us to rest and relax while we're falling asleep, and that'll actually really help us to sleep better. Sorry, I just realized you guys got a picture of my stomach on YouTube just there. Apologies. So yeah, self-care right now. I think it's really important just to really focus on the basics, which essentially are we getting enough rest? Are we sleeping okay? Are we staying hydrated? And also, are we giving ourselves the space to be able to eat, to be able to pause and nourish others? I would just like to add on to that. I'm an advocate of and a practitioner of intuitive eating. I used to coach a lot around that as well. And I'm absolutely 100% going to say, as one of my amazing friends and fellow intuitive eating coach, Gillian McCollum, said the other day, eating is a form of self-care. So if you feel like you are eating perhaps more, perhaps differently than you normally would, I really don't want you to beat yourself up for that. We're trying to take care of ourselves. We're trying to look after ourselves. So I don't want right now to be a catalyst for self-criticism or self-judgment. I don't want us to start beating ourselves up for the ways that we're trying to look after ourselves. So I just wanted to put that in right now. If you feel like you're binge eating on like sugar or anything, I want you to get really curious about why. But I also want you to give yourself the compassion to do that if that's what you need. So yeah, just focusing on the basics with self-care. We don't have to go absolutely crazy. I also think having a really good routine right now is also very helpful. Again, it's particularly if we're stuck at home, we're working remotely or self-isolating. I think it's so important to give ourselves space to find a routine, because our normal 9 to 5 may be off the cards for a little bit. But we also need to, I think it's so important to continue having a routine. So even if that still means getting up at the same time as you normally would to do your morning commute, good. I completely recommend you do that. I think it's so super important to have a sense of normality, even when things perhaps aren't quite so balanced as they usually are. So try and get a normal, whatever normal is for you, wake up a time, and a normal, whatever normal is for you, go to bed time. And during the day, making sure you have regular breaks, making sure that you have some good food, make sure that you're still moving and you're still checking in with yourself, you're still relaxing, and whatever it is that you normally do day to day, I want you to try and find a sense of routine around that as well. So if you are working from home at the moment, perhaps you're not used to it, it can be really hard not to just sit at your laptop for the entire day like this. So make sure you continue to take proper breaks. Make sure you're walking around, even if it is in your house or flat. I think it's really important just to stay moving in whatever way that may be. And with that in mind, we are going to be doing some yoga soon. So we are going to do a little bit of gentle movement this morning as well. But yeah, just even if you're just walking around your home, even if it is walking around the block, anything. So make sure that you have like a break from your PC or a break away from, again, whatever's going on up here. This is so helpful for us. I find really the biggest kind of ways to look after ourselves in our inner worlds is to have a routine, is to get rest, is to practice self-care, is to do all the simple things like drinking water and sleeping at a good time. So yeah, just try and keep normality on, like normality going for this whole period, however long, hopefully not long, this will last. Another thing that I wanted to discuss was, yeah, just about the sense of finding control in our inner world. Because I know at the moment it's really hard to, again, control what's going on outside, this external environment, this external situation, which none of us have exactly created. So instead, let's try and find a sense of control, what we can control within us. So this can be simple as just taking a few breaths. Maybe it's a bit of time just to figure out what's going on for us in our thoughts and notice what thoughts are anxious. So I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor, and I absolutely have no desire to go beyond the scope of my practice around that. But what I would suggest is when we have thoughts that are constantly repeating themselves over and over and over again, it's way to take note of what they're doing, what they're saying, and what they're making you feel. Because if we have a similar thought that's going around and around and around, a lot of the time, that's actually making us more and more anxious and more stressed. And see if you can just gently notice, observe, and be aware of these thoughts that are circling. And then see if you can just really gently, lovingly, and compassionately suggest an alternative. So I definitely noticed that. I mean, I suffered from anxiety in the past. So when I used to have the same thoughts going around, I would say, well, actually, is this true? And is this helpful in this situation? Is this inspiring me? And I'd go through a whole long list of things like that. So do I actually know this to be true? I think is a really important question because anxiety often has a big tendency just to over embellish the truth and get us into a fear state. So rather than being in a state of fear, let's see instead how it feels just question again lovingly and compassionately what we're repeating in our heads. If it's true, is it helping us in this situation as well? Because chances are it probably isn't if it is around anxiety. Or if it isn't helping us, but we still are stuck with it, then maybe question what can I do to help support myself with this thought? For example, if you're really worried about your health right now, maybe it's time again just to come back to this idea of self-care, to take these precautions that perhaps we've been advised to do, and just to trust and to support ourselves and be kind and loving to ourselves. Just doing everything we can in this moment just to give ourselves some attention, some care, and some love. Because it's been a crazy couple of weeks, and I think we've all had a definite increase in our stress, anxiety, or just general worry levels. I remember just a week ago, me thinking, oh, but yeah, what is going to happen? Like, I'm really confused about like whether we should even be doing anything at the studio. Should we just continue business as usual? And then next thing you know, bam, yeah, it's changed a lot. And again, I just want to reinforce the fact that I think it's changing almost. There's a few lessons we can definitely learn from this, and not just about washing our hands. I think lessons like, again, connecting with others. I think lessons, again, in slowing down and being less busy in general. This idea of enforced rest is something I've been preaching for a long time. So I think it's quite interesting that and I know a lot of people have been preaching the same, but I think it's quite interesting to notice that we're kind of being forced to rest a lot more now. I'm just going to press pause for a moment. Just going to, well, not literally, but I'm just going to press pause on what I'm saying. I'm just going to check in and see how everyone's doing, if I can support what we got on YouTube. Yes. Oh my gosh, Shahid, absolutely. So I wanted to mention this as well. So great minds. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think when we go on the news, our stress levels, our anxiety, our worry just goes right. So I actually, over the weekend, I had a complete break from the news and social media. I had a complete media blackout. And it was so helpful in just making me feel so much calmer, and again, just finding the sense of control, because we can't control what's going on. And yeah, absolutely, we can just read and absorb the news, and all of these conflicting so-called experts are suddenly materialized on social media. Not looking at anybody. I think we've all kind of been guilty of sharing a lot without particularly checking the source. So yeah, I think it's really important just to tune out the external noise as much as possible. We don't need to read the news or listen to the news every 5 minutes. In fact, I think that's so detrimental. If anything, I'll try and minimize it to at the most once a day, even less than that if you can get away with it, because I just don't think it's helping at all. We're still going to know what's going on if we even just check it once a day, but it's going to get rid of so much of the hysteria and the panic that's going on in the world right now through all of our collective consciousness. And how are we doing? Yeah, cool. Instagram, excuse me. Good to see everybody. Yeah, cool. So I wanted to get a little bit more into kind of physical practices from here. I did a lot of talking. I also want us to make sure that we have some time to move and to breathe. So I'm gonna hit my mat. So I might actually be able to bring closer looking at the screens. The last thing I want to have to do is shout towards everybody every time I say anything. So how's that looking for everything? So I'm just walking around on my knees now. Yeah, weird. Instagram, I need to move it a little bit away from the door. Sweet. So this is a perfect time for everybody. We're going to do, just to kind of tune in, tap in with ourselves. We don't necessarily even have to do any movement. Again, if you're in a public space like your office or anywhere else, then that's okay. So just to check, can everybody see and hear me okay? If anybody could comment or give me a thumbs up or anything on whatever platform you're watching, I'll just walk forward in a second and check. But it was a really great time for my microphone to have broken, wasn't it? So sorry if I am. Oh, cool. I'll see you later, Mike. Thank you so much for tuning in. And also, yeah, we're going to do a bit of breathing exercise as well, even without moving. So if you are in a public space, do not worry. There are elements of this that you can definitely all enjoy and get benefit from. Okay, so wherever you are, I want you to find a really comfortable position for your body. Whether you are seated or lying down. Oh, Instagram, no. Sorry, guys. Oh, that was scary, Instagram. I have a limit of how much I spend on Instagram every day, and it just hit dumb screen time. So we're back. Are we good? I hope so. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks for your patience. So we're just going to spend a little bit of time just allowing our eyes to either close completely or just eyelids get a bit heavier. So either gazing down our nose or we're closing our eyes completely. So when we experience a lot of stress, when things are getting a little bit crazy in our external world, our breathing can often kind of get a little bit compromised as a result. So we're going to spend a little bit of time just tuning into the breath. Just as we did before with the intuition exercise, we're going to just think of our place in our hands, but at a different place this time, but we're still going to be placing one hand on our heart. And the other hand this time is going to be placed just in your lower belly, just below your belly button. And as you sit or lie here, see if you can allow the hand that's on your belly to rise a little bit more with every breath in. And every time you breathe out, see if you can draw your belly in towards your spine so that we're really finding this emptying out completely to the whole of our lungs. So again, as we breathe in, our belly is rising. And as you breathe out, our belly is falling. You'll be able to feel this hand that's on your abdomen just rising and falling with the breath. So allowing the breath to always be a bit like a wave, so we're not pausing at the top or the bottom of our breath. So really focusing all of our attention on expanding and emptying our breath through the belly. And this can be really a big challenge or a big shift, because when we do get stressed, like when our sympathetic nervous system responds, our fight or flight response is dialed up, we tend just to breathe really shallowly through the chest. We're going to move into a two-part breath now. So the next time you breathe in through the belly first and then into the chest. And then as you exhale, allow your chest to fall first and then draw your belly in towards your spine. So it's a little bit of a tricky exhale sometimes. If it feels too hard for you to breathe in belly, chest, and then breathe out chest, belly, you can just do belly, chest for both. So finding this two-part breath. When we breathe in, just trying to breathe through the belly first, no matter what. But as you breathe out, just yoga's choice. See what feels intuitive for you. So long, slow breaths. So you can get your exhale to be the same length as your inhale. So every full breath a little bit longer than the last. Good. I'm going to invite you to join in with this count now as we start to count the breath. If this pace feels too slow or too quick for you, then just tune out my count and just breathe on your own, but just try and extend your breath as long as it's possible for you right now. So we're going to breathe in for the count of 3, 2, 1, and exhale 3, 2, 1. Inhale 3, 2, 1. Exhale 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1. Out 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1. Out 3, 2, 1. And just take maybe 3 to 5 more breaths at that pace if you are able, just on your own, counting in your mind and your thoughts as you continue to breathe. So one more breath, just like that. Go ahead and relax your arms. Hands can find your lap, your sides, or your knees, whatever feels good. Once again, whenever you feel ready, you can gently blink open your eyes. Just letting the light back in. Bit of an overcast day today in the Bertha, isn't it? Right. So from here, we're gonna move a little bit. I'm aware that I might look a little bit like a silhouette right now on, well, at least on YouTube, so I do apologize. I just lighting and I'll put that So like studio lighting, so I use that tomorrow to brighten things up a little bit, so I'm not just a dark shadow. I can't see from here how it is on Instagram, but hopefully that's a little bit better. But regardless, we're going to move quite a bit because I find that when we are very kind of mentally overwhelmed, that it's hard to be still. And that's said, the poses we're going to be doing are not necessarily really challenging, powerful poses. They're going to be really grounding poses. But I also think it's helpful for a lot of people if we start, at least, by moving quite a bit through these grounding poses, and then we'll slowly slow that down from there. So we're gonna get started either kneeling. You can stand up on your knees if you need, sit down your heels if that feels okay for your knees or your hips, or you can continue to sit cross-legged if that feels okay. Or just try and find a seat that works for you. All we're going to be thinking of doing right now is just moving really gently, really mindfully with the breath. So we take a deep breath in, just find this state of breath by this connection. And a full breath out, just again pausing right here, staying still, but just taking a really long exhale. Breathe in, slowly reach your arms all the way out and up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, bring your palms to touch and slowly bring your hands to your heart. 2 more times, slowly breathe in. And exhale, hands find your heart. One more time. I knew this was going to happen at some point, sorry. Got cats. Inhale, sweep your arms high. Hey, Saren. And exhale, hands find your heart. I would shut them out, but it's just going to get meowy if I do. I might have to do that if they get a bit annoying there. So from here, we're going to just add on a little bit more movement. So we're going to start off in the same way. We're going to have 4 different kind of poses in this flow. We're going to start off again by inhaling, reach your arms up, exhaling, bring your hands to your heart, but we're going to add a little bit more. So let's continue as we were, and I'll just invite you to move with me through the next half of this sequence. So we're going to breathe in again, reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And then this is where we're going to change things up. We're going to cactus your arms as you breathe in. So we're going to bend our elbows to about 90 degrees. So wrists over elbows and elbows in line with your shoulders. And then all we're going to simply do from there is we're going to have a really gentle back bend. So we're going to think about chest forwards and up. And as you breathe out, we're going to round through the spine. Bring your forearms together or catch your opposite elbows or shoulders, whatever feels good. I just want you to bring your chin to your chest, really round through your back body. So let's move to those 4 poses again. So inhale, reach your arms out and all the way towards the sky. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Cactus your arms in, bend your elbows to 90, lift the chest, inhale. And exhale, round through your spine again, hands together, hands to your elbows or shoulders. Just need to hollow out your front body as you round through your back, chin to chest, your shoulder blades away from each other. One more time, inhale, sweep your arms all the way out. Hands find your heart, exhale. Cactus your arms back, bend, breathe in. And exhale, 2 rounds again, arms around you, whatever way feels good. And then from here, bring your hands to the mat. We're going to make our way to standing. So you can step 1 foot forwards and the other, however you want to get there. And slowly we're going to roll all the way up. When you arrive, shoulders up, back, and down. Good. So you're going to do that same movement, those same 4 poses, standing. We're going to introduce them into a half sun salutation. So feet can be about hip width, I'm going to say, for today, just to allow us all to feel a little bit rounded, a little bit stable through our feet. So breathe in, sweep both arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And exhale, hands can find your heart center. Cactus your arms back, bend. Inhale, tailbone draws down as you lift the heart. And exhale to round through your spine. Inhale, let's reach all the way up. Hands find your heart, easy exhale. Cactus your arms back, bend, breathe in. And exhale to round. Again, wrap your arms around you. We're going to add on this time, so breathe in, reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, hands can find your heart center. Cactus your arms back, bend, inhale. And exhale, this is not for the change, you're again going to round. But this time you're going to take hold of opposite elbows. Soften your knees. And come into ragdoll pose. So then forward fold. You can bend into your knees as much as you need to until it feels comfortable for your lower back. Let your head hang heavy. You can shake it a couple of times, nod it a couple of times. Take a deep breath in right here. And as you breathe out, relax your arms, your fingertips down to the mat. Now find a flat back pose, halfway lift as we inhale. So hands can find your shins or fingertips to the floor if you prefer. Lengthen through the spine right here. So think collarbones forwards, crown of head forwards. And see if you can lengthen your tailbone back as your shoulder blades slide down your back body. And pause here just for a breath in to catch it with a breath. And exhale, forward fold. You're welcome to bend into your knees as much as you need to allow your fingertips to touch the earth. Inhale, all the way back up to standing, reaching both arms all the way up. And round you go again. Exhale, hands find your heart. Cactus arms back, bend, breathe in. And exhale, take hold opposite elbows, round through the spine, ragdoll pose. Pause here for an inhale, this gentle forward fold. And hands down to the mat, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale again, find that flat back shape with your body. Okay, and exhale, forward fold. I've only got two, I'm not that much of a crazy cat lady. Inhale all the way up to standing, reach both arms all the way up towards the sky. Hands find your heart center, breathe out. I'll add on one more pose this time. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. And hands find your heart, exhale. Cactus your arms back, bend, inhale. And exhale, ragdoll, catch opposite elbows, relax your knees and come into a deep forward fold. Inhaling right here, just pause. And exhale, hands find the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in, hands find your shins. And exhale, forward fold. And this time, just after the change, you're going to find halfway lift, that flat back once again. Only this time, we're going to bring both hands down to the mat. And we're going to step back to downward facing dog. So step both feet back. Hands stay on the mat. I want there to be quite a long space between your feet and your hands. So not worry too much about whether our heels come down or not. We're way more interested in the length you can create through your back body. So think about shoulders moving away from your ears. Lift your hip creases high as you can, lift up your sit bones. And then can you mount your chest towards your thighs? So have a little bit of a back bend through the shoulder blade, through the space in between them. Good. Take one more breath in right here. And exhale, look forwards and walk your feet all the way to the top of your mat. Ignore the rest of the time. Halfway lift, breathe in, hands find your shins. And exhale, forward fold. High mountain, let's come all the way to standing, reaching both arms to the sky. Inhale. As you breathe out, your hands can find your heart and pause. We're going to move into balance. Because I find that there's nothing better than a balancing pose, a standing balancing pose, to really help us to get present. If our mind is wandering, if our thoughts are loud and noisy, not right now, darling. If we feel like there's a lot going on for us up here, basically, it makes it pretty challenging to be able to find some stability. So I think we can also flip that though. But if we try and find stability, it also helps us to quieten our mind. So what we're going to do, come on. Honestly, I get ignored the rest of the time. We're going to keep our hands at our heart center. And we're simply going to bring our left knee. So we're going to lift up our left heel to start off with. So all the weight is in your right leg, your right foot. We're going to find calm and focus in the standing balance by just looking forwards, finding what we call our drishti in yoga, which is one steady point to look at. We're just going to focus right there. Finding your breath, those long breaths in, this long breath out. See how it feels to get light in, even to your balance on that left big toe and the right foot still, of course. And then slowly bring that left knee in towards your chest. And you pause right here. If you're wobbling, that is okay. If you fall out, that is okay too. It's not about what happens when we fall out, as I often say. It's about how we get back up, how we come back, how we get back into the pose and carry on. So we're just going to pause right here, finding your breath, keeping that focal point really strong. Again, if you feel like you're going to fall out, do not worry. And then we're going to find tree pose. So staying where you are, we're going to bring that left knee out towards the left. I'm not mirror imaging you, so I want you to keep your left leg lifted. I'm going to place that left foot on the inside of that right leg, just wherever it wants to land is fine. Just try not to use your hand. And if you prefer to have a little bit of kind of security, just keeping your left toes down as like a little bit of a kickstand, that's completely cool too. Oh my goodness. Stop it, cats. Come on. Sorry about that. What we say about finding focus right there. And it's in the moments of adversity when we really do find that focus, when we really are really called to get grounded and centered. See if you can find this sense of grounding and centeredness, even right here when we're standing on one leg. Taking one more really strong breath in. And slowly release. Bring your left foot down. Do the same thing on the other side. So all the way into your left foot now, lift your right heel. Can you get light into your right big toe? So then as we start to bring that right knee towards our chest, we still feel pretty stable. Can we find that drishti, that focal point with our eyes? But also find our focus through our mind. There's nothing like standing on one leg or standing on our hands just to really get us out of our head into our present moment. Because if we get sucked away with our thoughts, we're going to lose our balance. So we can use this to our advantage right now. Can we stay balanced? Can we stay present so we shift out of our thoughts? We normally have one side that's really good, one side that I like to think of as our teacher side. So that teaches us humility and practice. So if this side feels easier or harder for you than the other side, don't worry, that is normal. Slowly, let's bring that right knee out towards the right. And we'll find tree pose. Sole of right foot to the inside of that left leg. And wherever it wants to land, just don't use your hands. Using the strength of your legs and your hip muscles instead. And can you find your breath? Can you find your drishti? Can you find your focus and your center? Good. Slowly release. You can either place that right foot down straight away, or you can bring that right knee back in through center. Place your right foot down to meet to your left. We're going to put all of that together into a bit of a flow. And we're going to introduce a couple more poses in with that. All right. Let's breathe in, reach both arms all the way up. Exhale, hands can find your heart center. All the way back into your right foot. Gonna lift your left knee towards your chest. Take a deep breath in right here. And exhale, left knee to the left, tree pose, and sole of left foot to the inside of your right leg. Again, pause here, breathe in. And this time as you breathe out, we're gonna again bring the left foot away from that right leg. We're gonna step it all the way to the back of the mat. So now we're gonna be in a long stance. So our right knee is bent, setting up for warrior two. And our left foot is anchored down, especially the outer edge of that left foot. Then can you kind of open so your shoulders are down, facing, so you're facing the left to the long edge of your yoga mat. We're not facing the front, kind of opening out to the side. And then from there, reach your arms forwards and back as you look over your right middle finger. Find your balance right here. Stay strong through that left leg, but also just as much so through the right. Yeah, I'm just going to find a little bit of flow just here. So breathe in, flip your right palm. And exhale, let your left hand run down that left leg, your straight leg. As your right arm reaches all the way up and over for reverse warrior. Good. Then coming back. Warrior two. Good. So deep breath in right here. Full breath out to stay. And inhale, flip your right palm. And exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, pause. Inhale, flip your right palm. And exhale, reverse warrior. Now this time, let's breathe in. And windmill both hands all the way down to the mat to frame that right foot. Lift your left heel. And we're going to step back to downward facing dog. So just step or slide that right foot back to meet your left foot. Find this upside down V shape with our body. Our hands and feet are going a long distance away from each other. We're not thinking about being like this, our shoulders up by our ears. Think about lengthening through the spine instead. Long, steady inhale. Long, steady breath out. Look forwards, breathe in, bend your knees. And exhale, walk your feet all the way to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way to standing, reach your arms towards the sky. Exhale, hands find your heart. Cactus your arms back, bend back yoga, and inhale. And exhale, round through the spine. This time we'll come straight back up to high mountain, straight legs, reach your arms to the sky. Hands find your heart, breathe out. Left side all the way into your left foot. Slowly draw your right knee in towards your chest. Pause here, breathe in. And exhale to tree, bring your right knee up towards the right. Place the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left leg. Again, pause here, find your drishti. And slow breath out to set that right foot to the very back of the mat. Bend into your left knee, the front knee. When your back leg stays straight and strong, we anchor down the outer edge, the pinky toe edge of that right foot. Extend your arms out long as your shoulders open out down the right edge of your yoga mat. The long edge. Can you gaze over your left middle finger? Take a deep breath in. Steady breath out. Flip your left palm, inhale. And exhale, reverse warrior. Reach your left arm from back. Right hand runs down your right leg. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, pause. Find strength and stability. Find your inner warrior. Inhale, flip your left palm. And exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Pause, find your foundation, find your feet. Flip your left palm. And exhale, reverse. Inhale again, this time just up the change. We're going to wimble both hands all the way down. Framing your left foot, lift your right heel. And exhale, step or slide it back. Downward facing dog, left foot meets your right. Just pause here. One breath, that's all. And as you breathe out, slowly lower down to our knees. Take a moment, find a comfortable seat. Can be kneeling, can be standing on your knees, can be sitting cross-legged or anything else that may feel better for you. Notice, tune in with yourself, see how you're feeling. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your mind feels. And notice how your breath is right now too. A little bit easier to breathe. Maybe. It's going to take a moment. Reflect back on what we set as our intention at the beginning. What we set as what our intuition needed us to do. How we wanted to feel. And what we need to do to get there. I'm going to leave you guys for now. Tune in tomorrow if you want to see more. Spend a few moments just here if you can, just finding your breath. And hope you're feeling a little bit more centered. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful day. And I'm here if anybody needs me. Bye for now. Mwah.